Breaking news out of IMG Academy, Jihaad Campbell has signed with the Crimson Tide in this 2022 class. Thank you guys for joining us on this early signing day. Here with Andrew Brown to break it down now. The 4-star, 6'3", 230 pounds, another big addition for this class. Talk about kind of his skill set, what he's going to bring to Tuscaloosa, and what kind of led him to make this decision to sign with Alabama.
This is how crazy recruiting is. I mean, we weren't talking about Jihaad Campbell a week ago. I mean, Alabama ends up going down to IMG Academy last week, visiting some of their top commitments, and they end up visiting Jihaad Campbell and inviting him for an official visit to Alabama this past weekend. Well, he ends up coming up to Tuscaloosa, but he only spent one day at Alabama. He was going to Texas A&M for the weekend, so ended up going to Alabama on Friday. He spent 2 days at College Station, so he was at College Station on Saturday and Sunday. But the visit to Alabama was just enough for Alabama to win over his recruitment. Spent a lot of time with the Alabama coaching staff on Friday night. Also spent a lot of time with Jeremiah Alexander, Alabama 5-star linebacker signee. I mean, this was a guy that has been committed to Alabama for a long time. And when Campbell came on campus, it was almost like his official visit host. Even though Campbell didn't have a host, he was really hosted by Jeremiah Alexander, just recruiting him, showing him the ropes, telling him all about the Crimson Tide. But this is a very intriguing prospect. He's originally from New Jersey, moved down to IMG Academy to play the senior season, and really had a great season down there. I think he had about 7 sacks. He's a guy who rushes off the edge, can play as a will linebacker. And I think he's got a chance to really be a really good player down at Alabama. We've seen just so many different players come from IMG Academy. We've had a lot of success at Alabama, and this is one of the best players at IMG, and certainly somebody that can come in and make a big impact.
Big time prospect out of the Northeast down to IMG Academy, like you said. And, really crazy news here. Like you said, we hadn't talked about him all fall, really throughout this recruiting process, and does sign with the Crimson Tide here last minute after committing with Clemson back in June. Decommits, makes his decision now. Which coaches on this Alabama staff made that last minute effort to get Campbell to join up with the Crimson Tide?
Well, I think you got to go with Coach Saban and Pete Golding. He decommitted from Clemson last week, so there wasn't a lot of time to really recruit him. I mean, Alabama they expressed a little bit of interest early on in his recruitment, but then he ends up committing to Clemson. Well, Clemson, they don't really allow their commitments to take visits or really talk much to other college coaches. It's hard to keep kids from talking to coaches, but if a kid does visit, they end up kind of shutting things down there. But I think with Pete Golding and Nick Saban spending a lot of time recruiting him during his quick trip to Tuscaloosa last week, and also spending a little bit of time with him last Friday at IMG Academy, I think that certainly helped out a lot. And in the end, he felt like Alabama was the best place for him. I mean, it came down to Alabama and Texas A&M after he decommitted from Clemson, and Alabama just decided to push really hard. And sometimes it doesn't always work like that. I mean, you recruit so many different guys throughout the process, and you recruit them all the way up until the end. It's very rare that some of these guys kind of pop up last minute and they're available. Get them on campus and you say, "Hey, this is a guy that we would love to add to our team, and we got a spot for him." And hey, it worked out well for Alabama.
Oh, it certainly did. I mean, like you said, kind of a pop-up last-minute nice surprise here on early signing day. But Jihaad Campbell, the 4-star outside linebacker, does sign with the Crimson Tide. Guys, for all the latest coverage on this early signing day, go to BamaInsider.com. Check out stuff from Andrew Bone, Tony Stukalis, everything breaking this stuff down on our YouTube page as well. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as we're going to keep it rolling here on early signing day 2021.